finally met a woman who was way more freaky than me. Yeah, she was. She wanna do it in the morning, afternoon, and in the evening, we freaking. She love to get it on. Yeah, I had to sleep with one eye open, but this woman won't leave me alone. No, she won't. I had to sleep with one eye open, yeah, but this woman won't leave me alone. No, she won't. All she wanna do is make love.
All right, all right. Welcome back to another star-studded episode edition of Chat About TV with yours truly, King Jacob. And man, we have a sensational episode this evening, man. First, I'd like to introduce Mr. Terry Harris,
In
and
the
I
house,
definitely
in the house.
like to introduce Mr. Joe Bailey. How you guys doing?
Not
Oh, doing
bad,
good,
not
man.
bad.
Good, 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 man. So, man, me growing up, you know, in South Carolina from the Chitley circuit, listening to, the OJs and listen to Gerald when, when he had the curl and it would slide to the side, you know what I mean? The good old days, when that song came out, Casanova, I was like in middle school and so, but I really thought I was Mr. Casanova.
Oh,
That
Hey,
that really gave us big boys some encouragement. You know what I mean?
right.
You know what I mean? So we gonna get into it. So Terry, now you're a phenomenal singer, and you are compared to the great Gerald Levert, but in your own right, you are definitely a phenomenal singer, man. And
Thank you,
and
man.
so when did music start for you?
Oh man, it goes back. It always comes out of the church. Comes out of the church, and then you just kind of grow with it. Then you're inspired by so many people, and uh, just falling into the line of Gerald Levert, it got me more inspired because I had to, for the first time, really, really work. You can be an artist in your own right, but when you gotta go study somebody else's music, it's like an actor. You want to play Malcolm X, you got to be Malcolm X. That's a whole nother level. So always been inspired and uh, challenge. It was just a challenge for me and a blessing to learn. Even meeting Joe, to learn what I need to know to take Gerald's music to the level that we need to get it on.
Okay, 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 great, great, great. Now, Mr. Joe, you've been in the bodyguard business for quite some time, man of God, and you became a real, real, real close friend, more like a big brother and a family member to Gerald. So how did the bodyguard industry, start for you?
hey, man. Wow, what a question. It was a humble. I was minding my business, and I ran into Sean and Eddie Levert Jr. I was managing, I believe it was a Popeyes, and one of the guys that worked with me was a ball player like myself. They had a full court in the backyard. And I ended up going over there playing basketball, and we were messing around with our hands a little bit, play boxing and stuff. And they kind of seen something in me, and I was approached about possibly going on the road, getting my paperwork together and going on the road. But they said I had to talk to Gerald first. I didn't know Gerald like I knew Sean and Eddie Jr., but I got to know him a little bit. I went to school and got the paperwork, and the rest is history.
Okay, okay, okay. So from that stint on what you seen, so a lot of people don't understand. When I was growing up, my pops used to tell me about four sounds when it comes to the R&B soul industry:
Mhm.
the Motown, the sound of Philly, the sound of Chicago, and the sound of Cleveland.
Oh, you left out stacks. You left out stacks.
Yeah, Memphis was cold too.
I mean,
Memphis was
I
cold.
mean, I mean, I mean, I mean, that was when I used to hear about stacks.
Right,
That was my grandpa and his partners talking about
right,
Muddy
right,
and
right,
all
right.
them
Yeah,
places like that. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, and they always talk about uh 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 the blues sound out of Memphis and the slide guitars. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Out of Memphis. So when it comes to that whole sound of Cleveland, you know, man, it's been some greats to come out that area, man. So was that sound always something for you, Joe? That was a way for you to network with people and meet people.
Well, I've been a music lover my whole time, but I never knew. On Friday nights, I would be off work. I get off at 5, and I would go home and I would put on the Levert album, and I would get ready for the night. Never in my mind. I just loved that sound, the groove, the music. Everything was working, and it was just my motivation to go out and have a good time. And for me to end up working with them cats was something that I've never A wanted to do, B thought of or dreamed of doing. But that's how God works. He puts you where He wants you. So
That's right.
here I am, 30 something years later, and he's still just as big a part of my life as if it was yesterday. But
Right, right.
the sound, the OJs, man, there's nothing you could say other than the OJs, and that speaks for itself. They were a
Right,
little different from the Temptations and the Four Tops because the OJs had love, baby making songs. The the OJs, Eddie Levert populated half of this world. Anybody in their 30s and 40s and 50s, 30s and 40s mainly, was a product of that music. They can say what they want, but
right,
let me make love to you and all that kind of stuff. That got a lot of women in trouble.
right.
Right, right, right,
And it's
right,
so
right, right.
good.
It did.
Joe sings that kind of music. We on the phone all the time. Just let me, Joe, make.
I know that's
We're
right.
not
I know that.
doing that. We're not doing that.
I know that's right, man. So
I tell Joe that Gerald's music is. I'm gonna do it one show. The music is so easy. This man right here can come sing this. He can do this show. I can get up.
I think when I ran into Terry, it was by happenstance. The middle guy in the OJs, Eric Nolan,
mhm.
he had heard Terry and had got us in touch. And I heard Terry do a Gerald Levert song called "Closure," and
Yes,
it blew my mind because I never thought that I would hear that voice like that again. And me and this cat, it's more of a father son type relationship. I don't care if he never sings again. That's my dude. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Spiritually,
Mhm.
he's one of the most intellectual person that I've ever met when it comes to godliness. And musically, he's super talented, man. He's a great gift. He's a great gift, and he owed
I
me
appreciate.
$10 for that too.
I appreciate I'm plugging you in right now.
Oh yeah. So when I first, you know, went to the YouTube and heard Terry sing, you know what I said? I said, "Ain't no way possible.
Right,
Ain't no way possible. That man sounds that much like the Velvet Teddy Bear. Ain't no way possible. But hey, it is. It is,
but
man.
you know
And
what? Their voices are so unique, man. It's odd because I only know Mr. Levert and Gerald with these voices, so that tell you how unique they are. It's
right.
just a unique sound, and I don't know what dictates that. Because I ran away from it for a long time because I knew Eddie's sound first. So when you're young and somebody say you sound like Eddie Levert, you thinking that's old dude. I'm trying to sound like Ralph Tresvant. So it was an adjustment for me. I had to disguise it. So I think I'm on stage one night, and it's almost like if I took a line of Gerald said, "And my background sang." it was a dude at the board. He was like, "Damn, man, you sound like Eddie Levert." I'm in Atlanta. I was like, "Nah, nah." So it went from Eddie to when Gerald got hot. I'm in New York, Ron Grant, and I'm demoing the song. Ron was like, "Man, anybody ever tell you you sound like Gerald Levert?" So I ran away from it. I just say I'm gonna stick to writing and producing because at that time Gerald's a monster. So who's gonna chase a monster willingly?
Willingly. Yeah, that's
Yeah, well,
good.
I'm gonna go out here. You mean because yeah, man,
Well,
you can't go out there, and I'm not a Levert, so I couldn't have done it.
he said monster.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that was a Mike Gerald, a monster, man. You ain't,
Oh man,
you ain't just running up on
yeah,
that.
he is. He is.
You ain't look. You ain't
He
looking
is.
for him.
And man, if we talk about classic singers and every album that he put out, you can put it in today and
Oh
rock to it.
yeah,
And when younger people be like, "Oh, gee, who that is?" You
right.
know what I mean? And you put them
And
on
you ain't
game.
talking about the
And
show. We're not even mentioning his performance on stage. He left every bit of sweat up there. You ain't chasing no monster, man. That's why we don't see another Joe Levert today. He was just next level.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
he was a beast.
He most definitely. Oh yeah,
He was a beast, man. He was a beast. I know Johnny is close. Johnny Gill, he gives 110%, and you know the Charlie Wilsons and all those guys, they cool, but
Uh,
nobody did it like Drill, man. Nobody,
yeah,
nobody. And that's not because he was paying me either. I'm just telling you the real truth, the visual. You can see for yourself.
right. Well, I've had to do
Yeah,
this show, so I can say from beginning to end, every song you working it ain't a takeoff moment on a Gerald Levert record. You working, and I think that's what fans like to see that we put in that work that Gerald would do. So I always remind people, look, ain't gonna be another Gerald. Yeah, I'm to me, I'm not even close. It's like just to sit here, I watch his tapes and study them. You're talking about a great entertainer that left us early. So I'm humbled to be a part of it because I never got a chance to meet Gerald. I met Mark before, right up when he left Levert, but I never got a chance to meet Gerald.
okay, okay. Well. With that being said, man. Now Gerald. He's like I just see how I'm looking at the the R&B soul industry as it once was. When you had Gerald and you had the Luthers
Oh yeah,
and James Ingram and people like that, man. Um, I I know we need to get that back, and so it's such a wonderful thing that y'all doing is doing the tribute to Gerald, man, and 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 y'all doing it at the Harrow's Casino, man, which they have casinos all around the country, man. So I'm hoping that can be a whole tribute tour, man, and just to enlighten people, man, on what we're missing, man, and with your voice, Terry, you got your own projects out as well, man. So what is the response from people when they hear your projects, when they understand who Terry Harris is?
well, it's always Gerald Levert. It's always Gerald Levert first, and I know why because that was a voice they were used to hearing.
Right.
I teased Joe. We did a show. I had to come through the audience. What was it? Was it Wildflower Flower Joe?
I don't know how the Wildflower go. Sing that for me. How
It's
it
the
go?
hardest time you could imagine. Was a minute time. Tears from her eyes. In the crowd, but I can hear him saying, "Go ahead, Levert."
Yeah, that was St.
So
Louis. That
yeah,
was
St.
St.
Louis.
Louis. St.
I
Louis.
let her
Oh man.
cry for she's a lady. So that was more Eddie. So they'd be like, "Go ahead, Eddie. Go ahead, Levert." So even when I do my own records, it always goes back to I think Calvin Richardson told me, he said, "Man, you sound so much like Gerald. It's eerie." Because Calvin used to be out there with him. So
Yeah.
no matter what I put out, it's gonna be I think, every record I put out, it sounds like a Gerald Levert record because of the tone.
Right. Right.
Well,
Right. Right.
more than that, he has the spirit of Gerald when it comes to writing the songs. Ralph Tresvant heard a song that Terry wrote called "IOU," and he was like blown away. He was like, "This dude even writes like Gerald." So he has that it factor that Gerald had, And it's just about just putting in some more work, man. That's all. When we hit Harris, I guarantee you, I'm gonna have my belt in my hand, and if that boy don't do what he's supposed to do, I'm gonna come right on that stage. And Terry's so prepared, man.
But yeah, I know, man. I'm pretty sure. And one thing about Terry, man, Terry, you can tell he definitely studied, some of the older greats. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the R&B now, um, the older greats used to be so suited and booted, man.
Oh yeah,
It's like
yeah,
it's like, man, if you touch them, you might get cut. You know
right,
what I mean?
right,
Yeah,
right. But you
man.
said something important. I go on stage and I look at the OJs and I get people tell me like, man, when you go, you come correct. Yeah, because I want to keep the tradition going. I'm not going to go up there in jeans and look like I'm a hip hop rapper. It's like that's not my generation. I'm gonna go up there like a grown man, and I think that's part of your whole look in the image. And even with Gerald, you saw Gerald come out there on point. You didn't see Gerald out there like he was just rolling out the bed. Where I see now Johnny, Johnny's on point, and but that's the tradition that a lot of these young people don't understand. Being suited. I think they in a generation where it's t-shirts and jeans. Even some of the blues singers I see, Southern Soul, it's just jeans. And it's kind of like it's okay, but for a concert, I want to see you look the part.
I can dig it. I can dig it, man. So we have Miss Cynthia tapping in with us. Shout out to Miss Cynthia for making all this possible, for making that network connection for me,
Right.
and shout out to Miss Carol Ray as well for joining the live. Now, man, this Harold's event at the casino, man, that you guys are doing the tribute is going to be phenomenal. Man, listen, Garden Park, I interviewed them, phenomenal brothers.
Yeah, Black
Um,
Rose. I know
yeah, yeah,
Rose in
yeah,
the
yeah.
group.
Yeah, so you have Silk, you have the female background vocalist for Gerald, Miss
Serena.
Serena. Yes,
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 sir.
yes. So I'm gonna try to get her up next. But man, when I see, the people on the card, and I go look them up and listen to their music, it's some phenomenal people that's on that card, man. And just to do it at that instance, because if we're gonna be honest with you, if people listen to the great music, then they gonna gamble more. You know what I'm saying? Believe
Right.
that.
Here's
Right.
the key. Here's the key, Jacob. You mentioned the Cleveland sound, the Cleveland style. Cleveland guys are hard working. Gordon Park, I know all of them. They're good, and they're good together. That's the key. And they get the energy is good. They look good. They sound great. And Serena has been with Gerald from his very first record. I'm talking about she put in more time with Gerald than anybody, more than Mark, more than Tony Nicholas. Every background for LSG, for Father and Son, for Gerald, for Levert, she's been a part of it. So her talent is incredible. And I'm not going to even speak about Terry because he's going to speak for himself. I'm thankful for the opportunity that he gets a chance to shine. Um, hey, listen, Philly better come on. Philly's always loved Gerald. We used
Right.
to live in Philly. They we did a thing with Tina Marie one time. Gerald was hurt and he had tore his Achilles. And he hadn't been out for about 3 or 4 months. And we were going to Philly. He heard that Tina Marie was performing, and they had just did the song "A Rose by Any Other Name." And so we snuck in. Tina ain't know we was there. She happened to walk by before she hit the stage and saw Gerald. And she said, "You coming out with me?" And he's like, "No, I ain't done nothing for a while." He wasn't sure of himself. We were at the Dale. I tell you what, Jacob, that crowd went so crazy when Gerald limped out there. They went bananas. And Gerald, I know it made him feel tremendous, man, because he felt like he'd been off the map. Nobody cares. He just had that little feeling. But I tell you what, him and Tina ripped that thing up, man. He got a standing ovation. He tried to walk off the stage, and Tina said, you sitting your black butt right here with me for the rest of the show. And they just party, man. So when it come to Philly and the Gerald Levert sound, we're not advertising the groups. Yeah, Gordon Park is nice. Yeah, Lil G from Silk is nice. Yeah, Terry is great. but we're pushing the sound of Gerald Levert. We're pushing Gerald Levert's music. We're pushing
Right.
Gerald, not the entities that come to perform on behalf of Gerald. And Philly, the people in
Right.
Philly got to know that we're not trying to push any particular group or any particular person. We're pushing and we're selling their brother Gerald, man. And Gerald was like a brother to Philly. Ain't nowhere in Philly he couldn't go where he didn't get that Gerald Levert Cleveland type love, man. That's how tight Philly is. So Philly, I'm urging you, come on out. Don't worry, I ain't gonna be pushing you and knocking you down. I'm gonna let you get close. I'm gonna let you
Right.
do your thing. But y'all come on out and have a big party with us to help celebrate my man, Big G. It's gonna be
Man,
awesome, man. I promise.
man, and not just Philly, man. I'm from the Chitlin Circuit era, and I can tell you through both of the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana, Texas. Gerald is love, man.
Right.
Listen, man. Like me and my brother used to be like, hey, man, listen, we got to take them to church like Gerald Levert, cause I grew up saying the gospel quartet with my dad. So you know what I
Oh,
mean.
Okay.
okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So with that being said, man, how Gerald was able to just memorize and move people, man, and he just he just was so amazing with it, man, and then, man, for him to sound so much like his father, man, it was just
Right.
it was like, man, you get like a like a double dose, man, and
Right.
I just really love him, man. I love the Levert legacy, man, and man, I'm so glad to see you guys just pushing it on, man, pushing it on and keep on pushing, man. Now we're gonna take a quick commercial break, man, and we'll be right back with none other than Terry Harris and Mr. Joe Bailey. Stay tuned for more important message. Chatterbox TV, King Jacob.
I'm tired of lying, and it's getting plain to see. I done tried hard to deny, but this woman changing me. Might go to the clubs, but I leave kinda early, and I don't drink and drive, but chug and jive, so my woman ain't gotta worry. No, no. See, I can't be playing with her heart or playing with her mind. We ain't getting no younger, can't play with my time. And I know she miss me and can't wait to kiss me. So I might be invited tonight. You ain't gotta look for me. I might be invited tonight. Yeah.
All right, we're back. That was my good friend out of Jackson, Mississippi. Too smooth. 10 by
Oh, okay.
in by 10 tonight. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes,
See,
sir.
and he got the clock behind him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He most definitely do. He most definitely. So Terry, how long have you been truly inside this music business?
Oh man, you go back to this. I'm about to date myself. Uh, I worked with Jay Blackfoot, David Porter, sang background for Shirley Brown. Actually co-wrote a song with Jay Blackfoot, the Barcades. So man, I've been around because I actually lived around the corner from, I think it was called Mark Five Studios. That was Isaac Hayes, and I used to watch them load up to go do shows. Like it was
Mm.
directly right around the corner from my house as a kid. I remember seeing the tour buses pull up and they were loading up for shows. So I've been attracted to music forever because I've been by radio since I was a kid, and my mom sang and my sister sang, my brother. I would never really sing in church. I would background. And I just kind of, man, went out, started singing in, at school in the bathroom with guys. And we did a talent show, man. And I caught the bug. And ever since, my mom would get on me like, why don't you sing like that in church? I guess to me, I couldn't do in church what I could do in a club. So it just took off and I left for a while. And then around 2015, 2016, I came back. I had a hit called Two Can Play That Game over in the UK. that crossed over into the steppers market, and then Joe and I met, and from 2016 to right now, we've been rocking.
Mm, Now, so what's so interesting, reading up on, I bring these guys up a lot, man, because I had a chance to, be in some of the same places there, because I lived in D.C. for 12 years, so
Mhm.
I see that you shared some things with Ruff Endz as well.
Right. I'm singing background on their last album, the Someone to Love album.
Hmm.
They got a song called If It Wasn't For that we actually wrote for Cisco. But he had closed the album out, so Dave McPherson liked the record so much, he sent it to B2K, and I think it was a little bit too big for them. And it bounced about three groups, and then it landed over on Rough Ends.
Okay,
So if you go to that album, that's actually me singing on the background. Now it
okay,
don't sound
okay.
like my regular voice, so a lot of people don't know it because I had to change my voice. Because imagine Gerald singing background for somebody. Uh,
Right, right, right,
Kind of
right.
like with Tony Nichols, we met the Daz Band one night,
Hmm.
and I'm singing, and because they were looking for a singer, I said I don't have y'all sound. So when I sang, they was like, "Oh no, 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 you sound like Eddie Levert. You gonna be out? No, no, we good. We'll look for another singer." I was like, so that tone is so dominant, I had to change it. So Michael Malden, I was signing him at the time. That's Jermaine Dupri's father. Gerald Allen and I produced that record, and had a couple of other records moved, but that was kind of our biggest one because if it wasn't for rated, it got a good write up in Source magazine at the time.
Okay, okay, cool. So, how many other people have you written for?
Well, we've had songs. I've had songs pulled by Jaheim, a lot of different acts, but we just had the rough ends that broke for us. They got off the project. So just a lot of the politics. We were new producers, and even now a lot of stuff. Basically, I write all the stuff that I've ever written, that I've ever put out. I write. So I've been writing for a long time. So
Okay,
that
okay.
Hey
That's
Jacob,
that, that's what's up, cause
I, I
go ahead.
want to give a shout out to Kara Ray and G5G. That's a female fan club, man, that we had put together. That a young lady named Ann uh, had we and her had got together with some other female fans, and they got this G5G thing going on, and they're big, man, and they Gerald Levert fans, they OJ fans, Eric Nolan of the OJs. He has a little solo career. They support anything Levert. They come out for Terry when he's in various markets. So I want to give a big shout out to Carol Ray and the G5G group, man, because I love them, man. They they do or die. They the real deal right there, man. So they are appreciated. I just want them to know they are appreciated.
right, 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 right. Because we did the Soul of Joe Levert EP for the fan club at the time. Because namely, I did with Twyla, Reba, and Gloria. So G5G has definitely been instrumental in introducing me to Gerald. Let me say that. Hey, buddy, you got to slow down. Boy, he's something else. Did we lose? We lost the host.
I don't think so. He's there. Jacob, there he is. You know that down south connection ain't as strong as up here in the city with us
Right.
city guys.
Look, I'm down south.
My bad. There he is.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that, man. Somebody was calling in, man. You know how it go. When
Oh,
you're
okay.
business, man, somebody always trying to call. But yeah, man. When it comes to that writing, man,
Mhm.
that man, if you're a writer, man, and you write well, man, man, you make money forever, man, and people always gonna call you, man, whether they need you to just write a hook or whether they want you to write a couple verses, man, and that's great that you're a writer as well, man. And so, Big Joe, when it comes to you, man, all the relationships that you have garnered through the years, through 25, 30-year period, man, what does that mean to you?
Relationships is better than any business because relationships outlast those things. I have a close relationship with Johnny Gill. I have a close relationship with Mike Epps, Mike Tyson, the guys who was really close to Gerald. You know what I mean? The whispers. I feel like it's my due diligence when they come to town to show up. I don't always stay for the shows, Charlie Wilson. I'll come and pay homage, show my love because that's what Gerald would do if he was still here. So
Hmm.
in that type of scenario, man, a couple of guys I still mess with, but going to work, I'm done. I'm not doing that no more. Not in that nature. What I'm doing with Terry, I'm doing with Terry. You know, I'm not doing for Terry. I'm doing with Terry. And there's a difference. When as we continue to climb and grow, I'll put the staff of people around him that's needed to help him become who he's about to blow up to be. So I mean, I'm thankful. I met my wife. I got my family. All that due to Gerald, man. It's changed. He told me to hang in there with him, and he'll show me the world. And I promise you,
Right.
he has done just that, man. South
Right.
Africa, Europe, the UK. I've been everywhere with that guy.
That's good, man. That's great, man. And these are remarkable stories that that you can share with people who want to be in that space one day. You know what I mean?
Right.
And man, I commend you for being who you are, and you as well, Terry. So Terry, now I'm gonna ask you a question, man. Like, but yeah,
Okay.
you sound like Gerald, and yeah, you write your own songs, man. But listen, man, if anybody know anything about Gerald,
Hmm.
man, listen, man, women love Gerald like they love Victoria's Secrets.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I
Right.
love it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So are you in that same space?
Well, I think they're more in love with the sound of Gerald when it comes to me, not Gerald. Uh, and I
Okay.
think I'm happy to be a memory for them because I get a lot of his fans who said, "Man, I just love. I've seen you perform 4 or 5 times. I love it. I love it. I love it." You know, like we got an amazing we had an amazing crowd on the Tom Joyner cruise, and whenever I do Gerald and the OJs, they go crazy because again, Eddie Mr. Levert is still here, but Gerald is definitely missed. So his
Right,
fans,
right.
because he talked about G5G, we did actually, if you get a chance, the EP, the Soul of Gerald Levert. That was my dedication to G5G.
Okay.
So I did that. So what we did, Mr. Too Damn Good,
Mm-hmm.
and we did my one of my favorite songs, Baby You Are.
Right, right. You know what my favorite song is by Gerald on, right? Right.
Which what is that one?
Let
Casanova.
me make let me make love to you, baby.
Not who is
That's the
which one?
OJ.
That's
That's the
Jay.
OJ.
Yeah.
That ain't Gerald. That's the OJs. But you
That's Eddie.
close. You
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
door.
Yeah. 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 And I would say this right here.
Hmm.
Um Gerald Gerald Gerald's song when when he kind of give off what he went through with females on the song,
Right.
and the the way he just display and would write his records, man, it was like, yeah, he's singing to the women, but us brothers got to sit back and listen, man, cause we done been through some of the same thing.
Right. But that's
You- you-
you kind of said it like with Eddie. This is what I remember most about OJ's. Remember we cried together. You know, me and my woman been going through some things for about
right,
6 months, so it's been real hard to talk.
right,
It's like you was sitting by the radio, like, okay, you know, ain't no more records walking you through a relationship. You know, that's why when we play these records, OJ's, or Al Green, or even Gerald, I think to me, Gerald was the last connection to that group because when he did the songs, it was just, it's like he brought you back to, like I told Joe, the song he did with Sharina. I thought, man, what was going on with Joe on that record? You know, you could tell he's writing about what he's going through, and I can feel every line of it.
Yeah. He was
yeah,
good for that. He was
Right,
good for putting his emotions into a song. For every heartache, for every one night stand,
right,
for every heartbreak,
right.
that led me closer to you. So
Right.
he's telling you how these relationships will set up. He's telling guys how to set a relationship. He's telling guys how to get out of situations. When you run
Right.
into your ex girl and you tell her, "Hey, look, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be what I am to you." So I mean, the
Right.
setup was cold. The setup was cold, man. But hey,
Right.
man, I miss that cat, man. I miss him. I miss him.
Right. So when it comes to you, Terry, man, do you play instruments as well?
I don't play enough to talk about it. I produce and write, and I think my first album I did about 3 tracks on that. But I normally I work with Gerald Allen, and I work with another producer, K Soul, that have worked on my album, and also Jay Lake wrote a song for me, and we actually got a new single coming out called Happy Wife. So that's the next single. We're probably going to drop that one right after the
Boy,
show.
look at
Yeah.
here, happy wife. Boy, I
Right.
can just imagine. I
Right.
hope you ready when you put that. I hope you ready. I
Right.
just hope you ready. I just hope you ready, man.
Well,
I
it's
just
just
hope.
talking about relationships. We got to work
Right,
together.
right,
So
right.
it's I tested it in a group online, and they said it's gonna be the anthem for relationships. So I'm taking my experiences like Gerald and putting them into a record.
Yeah, man. So and just for me hitting the title of that song with all the type of film and TV series that we have now, man, that song
Right.
that get major music licensing. So
Right.
and that music licensing check, it's really better than your royalties, and
Right.
because once you start entering movie, TV, and film, man, that's a whole nother bracket for a person
Right.
as a singer and a songwriter, man. So yeah,
Right.
man, I'm pretty sure it's gonna do well for you, man. Real well for you, man.
I
So
appreciate
now,
you. I'll get you the single. I'll definitely get you the single.
okay, do that, man. Cause I'm the co-owner of 168 Radio too, so
Okay.
we can definitely do that, and for all the independent artists, um I have a package that's $9.99 that gives
That's
you
cheap.
104 spins monthly.
Oh wow, that's definitely cheap.
Yeah. So just want to do something for the independent artists, man, to make it make it so that it's people out here that rock with you, man. But if you do the work, I'm gonna set the price where you can't refuse it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
so we talking about only $10 a month, and you're getting 104 spins a month. That's
Right.
that's 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 4 times a day,
Right.
Monday through Saturday.
Right. I mean that's love.
And because we don't spend nothing but gospel on Sunday. So
Right.
they sit on Sunday. So no secular on Sunday, not at
Right.
all. So now we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and man, we'll be right back with none other than Terry Harris and Joe Bailey. Stay tuned for more important message. Chatterbox King Jacob, we in the building.
Shout out to the men that just came home from jail and said no matter what the circumstances is, I'm never going back. Shout out to the men that said I'm tired of neglecting my children. I'm stepping up and being a man for my children, teaching them morals, honor, responsibility. Shout out to the men that say, you know what, I'm tired of sleeping on that couch. I'm tired of using my mother. I'm tired of using that girl. I'm going to step up and be a man for me. Shout out to the men that just graduated from college or going to college. Shout out to the men that graduated from trade school. Shout out to the men that say, yo, I'm just tired of being tired and I need to make a change. Shout out to the men that stayed there, that's raising their children. Shout out to the men that's getting married or want to stay married. Shout out to the men that's taking care of children that's not biologically theirs. Shout out to the men that's trying to figure it out. Shout out to the men because you are a beautiful soul. Shout out to the men that's just being a part of everybody's life to make a change, man. Stop the violence.
Stop the violence, man. Shout out to the brothers that's doing what they got to do, and really setting the bar high, man. Cause we definitely need those good brothers around, man. So I just
Yeah.
wanna I tell all men, man, we have to love one another, man, and we have to show each other gratitude and uplift one another, man. Because enough of us don't uplift one another, and so anytime I get to uplift my brothers, I am definitely going to do so. So shout out to the men for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. So now we got about 5 minutes left. So
Mhm.
what is Terry? What is your expectations for the tributes that you will be doing to G? You know what I mean? Gerald Levert.
My expectations, as always, is to give the fans a great show. Uh, we're gonna walk them through the history of Gerald Levert and the OJs, and I want people to come out of there and say, "Hey, man, like you said, this is a show that we need to take on the road because it's not a concert out like with Gerald's music." Uh, so I'm expecting for people to walk away with a new experience to relive Gerald's music. You know, because
Yeah.
there's a difference playing it at home and then you go see a live concert and somebody working that stage like Gerald and down on their knees like Gerald, and I might roll that night. I'll see if we can lay some rolls down, let me roll on the stage. We're gonna give them a great experience. I want to come to have fun.
Right.
But
And
I can't come off the stage. Somebody blocked me from coming off the stage.
Well,
right.
see,
So
see,
so
he could come off the stage. He just got to come off the stage in the right song. You know what I'm saying? Coming off the stage is an art. And I
Right,
like him to get warmed up. I like him to get the ladies heated up. You know what I'm saying? Because he
right,
think he got a little swag with him. So I want him to perpetrate that swag. And then when he go in the house slapping, he does some provocative things, and I'll be like, uh-oh, I got to look around and make sure a husband and a boyfriend ain't coming at this dude because he can make it really hot, man. But it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good.
right. So Mr. Joe, you have something coming up by the end of this year. Would you like to give us a brief synopsis on what you're working on?
It's a book. It's a book called My Conversations with G. Um, it's not a bio. It's not a auto biblical thing about Gerald. It's me and him, our conversations, the situations that he went through, that I had to talk him through, or situations that I went through that he had to talk me through. It's just about the relationship of an artist and this guy. That's all. That's all. Hey man, it got a lot of it got some ups and downs. Tell a lot of stories about where the songs came from, like we touched on today.
Right.
Um, I got some edgy things in there, man, that I don't want to speak of right now because I don't want no lawyers calling me because I don't do lawyers well. I don't do that. I don't do that. So
right.
it's gonna be good, man. But I expect to come back on here and have this conversation again with you, where I can be more precise about how I'm feeling and what I'm doing.
Yeah. I wanna. Somebody told me today they was like, man, you got some magnificent people today, man. It was like I remember when Jill spoke to my soul talking about that private line. I was like, oh yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I said he spoke to all of us talking about that private line.
Right,
Man, what a
right,
what a remarkable masterpiece.
right, right. I mean, he
That
wrote
was
he
his
wrote so many great songs.
private line was his biggest selling solo single.
Yeah, man.
That was the one. That was
I
the
think
one.
I think that Joe. I think Private Line is where the saying was that. And my background sing, I'm a background sing, King. I think that's where that blew up at, because
Well,
that's why I
it
remember
blew
it from all the songs.
up on Black Men United when
You would know,
when you had
yeah,
all Chris, yeah,
yeah,
Black Men
Right.
United. You had about 30 artists singing.
right,
Yeah,
right,
Um,
yeah,
right,
and he was the lead. He was the lead on that, and
right, right,
that's where he went in my background singing. My background singing 'cause he had
yeah.
some of the coldest cats right there
right,
behind him, man. So
He
right.
it
did.
was a
He
little
did.
ego. It was a little egotistical in there, but hey, it became a regular. You know.
Right, because I
Yeah,
remember from Private Line, and I was like, man, that line stuck with you. It was a simple line, but how he said it, like there's so many great things about listening to Gerald sing. People don't
yeah.
realize how he enunciates. That makes a difference in how you like, okay, you can sing the note, but he's singing it with a feel and an enunciation that's so unique. Oh, okay, man, that's how he doing that.
Yeah, man. He said when I was a young boy. Man,
Right.
listen, man.
Right.
The way he opened that, man,
Right.
the way he opened that thing up, man, you would think a preacher was sitting right there behind him.
Oh, yeah, he came behind Kevin. If you go watch that, man, and that's another credit to Gerald. Look at all those great performers on that stage. Uh,
Yeah,
when Gerald got that mic, the level shot up here.
It did.
yeah,
It did. It
yeah.
it, it it made everybody else want to do more than what was required to do. You know
They
what I
didn't
mean?
have they didn't have a
You
choice. When you see
Right.
you
a
had
cat
to,
grab
right?
the mic like that, you didn't have a choice. He had set the level. So Kevin came in here. Gerald was like, "Okay, here we go.
Yeah, but
Here we
Gerald,
go."
Gerald, when it came to music, he had a certain ear, and he knew how to make whatever he was doing work. I don't care. Listen, wherever we would be, if there's another performer that lives in that town and they come on the stage, Gerald hands them a mic because he ain't afraid of nothing to know. He wasn't afraid of nothing to nobody. But I can remember being in Chicago on the R. Kelly show. You know, Gerald came out and waved, but Rob wouldn't give him the mic. Would not give him the mic. A lot of guys wouldn't let him do. Keith Sweat didn't have an issue when Gerald and Keith did a couple of songs together before LSG, but Keith had a lot of energy. But when Gerald came out, I'm telling you, he made a difference. When he left here, the touring industry dropped because you didn't have that magnitude. You had great singers, but great singers and great entertainers are two different things.
Right.
You're right.
Gerald was a great singer who was a great entertainer. That's like Michael Jordan is a great basketball player who happens to be a great athlete.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
that's what made a lot of the difference, man. That guy could blend in vocally with anybody, and he wasn't worried about how you sound or how you sang because that ain't had nothing to do with him because he knew
Right.
how and what he was doing, and he knew how to do it.
Man, and but and then another thing, man. Anybody just can't go behind Gerald Levert and sing, man. That's like as Mike Tyson said, man. That's ludicrous. You
Oh
can't
yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
You,
that's
you,
Gerald a grown man, man. Like I told you earlier, I ain't going to look for no monster. So why would I put out a record knowing there's a monster? That's his sound. Hey man, I tell guys he would have eliminated me if a record I did got to his ear, because people probably would have went to him and said, "Hey man, you got a record out called So You Can Play the Game?" They'd be like, "No, it's a dude. Oh, he gonna go in the studio and let me know it's only one slot."
yeah,
Hey
yeah,
man,
yeah, yeah.
I ain't looking for no monster. You
That's
ain't hunting
right.
down killers, not on
That's right.
purpose.
That's right. That's right. So Terry, can you tell everybody and uh uh um make an announcement about the tribute for Gerald Levert that's happening in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, it's gonna be July 13th, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right.
July
Yeah, yeah,
13th,
that's his birthday. That's his
right?
birthday.
Gerald's birthday. We're gonna be celebrating in Philadelphia. What's the arena called? I'm not. This is my first time there.
The
It's the
Harris
Harrow
Harris
Casino.
Arena.
Harris, yeah,
Yeah.
Harris, and it makes man. It's gonna be a great show. Come out. We're gonna do all the songs you like by Gerald. We're gonna have some crowd participation. It's gonna be good. We're gonna make sure, like, so you got some great people there. You got Lil G. You got my guy. What's his name in the group? I want the group that
Gordon
he.
Gordon
Park.
Park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gordon Park. You got Gordon Park. You got Sharina, uh, and a host of other people. But it's gonna be an amazing show, man.
All right,
Hey
y'all heard it first.
Terry. So Terry, it sounds like it's a family type thing. Would you consider
Yeah,
it to be
I
a
got it. It's
family
so nice
reunion?
to see all the folks you love together, sitting and talking about all the things. They got to pay to see the rest, Joe. They got to pay to see the rest.
Yeah, you know what, Mr. Joe? I was just about to tell him to do that, but
Yeah,
you
I
did
know.
it first. Yeah, I was just about to tell him to do it. So, if people want to kind of get in contact with you, Terry, can you give your social media handles or whatnot?
yeah. You can go to the Real Terry Harris on YouTube
Excuse me.
and got all the videos and music. And if you want to book me, go through my manager right there, Big Joe Bailey. And well, Joe's not on. Well, he's online, but he ain't online, and he ain't online. But yeah, you know, there's a contact number,
They know
man.
how to
And
find me.
right for
They
all
know how to
bookings.
find me.
Yeah, Joe's at the pool hall in Cleveland on Third Street.
I hear that, man. So, guys, I wanna thank y'all for coming on, man, and shout out to Miss Cynthia, shout out to Miss Carol Ray, for tuning in, and thanks Miss Cynthia for the connection. I greatly appreciate you all the time, you guys. We're gonna have to do this again. I'll definitely be in touch, and shout out to the company I work for, Exquisite PR Firm. Um, a lot of things is going up, man. Not only do we do PR, branding, and marketing, but we also build nonprofits from the ground up. We build businesses from the ground up, and we write grants as well. So we here if y'all need us.
Definitely,
Amen. To
definitely.
God be the glory. To God be the glory. And I'll be in touch with you, Jay, because we got some work ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all take care, be blessed, and always stay encouraged.
Thanks for having me on,
Man.
man.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
All right.
Thanks.
All right.
Yes, sir.